This episode is brought to you by Nutriability, where we offer specialized nutrition services for children and adults with special needs, from personalized meal plans to parent and group education and intervention strategies. We're here to support their health and well-being. If you'd like to learn more, visit our social media and website at nutriabilitykc.com. Hi, and welcome to a very special episode of Glow and Go this Mother's Day weekend. My name is Carla. I'm a nutritionist, wellness coach, and the mother of a young man on the autism spectrum. This episode is for all the moms, especially those raising children with disabilities, with unique needs, with neurodivergent minds, and extraordinary hearts. I see you. I honor you. I believe in you. Mother's Day is not always simple for us. It can be beautiful, emotional, stressful, and complicated as well. So, today, instead of sharing nutrition strategies or tips, I want to give you something more meaningful. I want to give you words that feel like a hug. Yes, I'll be hugging you right there next to you. Today, I'll be reading a piece that has touched thousands of lives, including mine. It's called Welcome to Holland. Piece written by Emily Perl Kingsley. It is a story about parenting a child with disabilities. A metaphor, really. It puts into words what many of us feel, especially in the early stages of diagnosis, or even years later after the diagnosis when the journey feels lonely or misunderstood. I'll be reading this message in English, and it was originally written in English in 1987. And then on a separate episode, I'll be reading it in Spanish. I'll translate it myself. So that every mom in our community can hear it in a language that speaks to their heart. But before I begin, I want to share something personal and also remind you to please subscribe to this podcast. Go to my website, check it out. Check our survey. We're completing surveys to determine the needs of people with autism and disabilities in terms of our services. And we are also on social media as Nutriability and Instagram and TikTok. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the notifications so you can be notified when we have new content. Share this episode, please, and leave a comment or review. It helps us improve. Well, I say I was going to share something personal. The first time, I want to tell you about the first time I read this poem or this analogy. Um, it was nearly 15 or 16 years ago. In a class, when I decided to go back to college, I started child development classes, and my teacher or my professor gave us this piece of paper to read out loud in class. It was a child development class that I took after deciding to go back to college. My son has just been diagnosed with autism, and I was searching desperately for ways to understand him, to help him, and to do something right in a world that suddenly was unfamiliar for me. We were assigned this reading as part of the class, and I remember sitting there with a paper in my hands. And as I read, I felt this tightness in my chest. I felt butterflies. I felt like a punch. And then the tears just came. I couldn't hold them back. My classmates looked at me, confused, not knowing what my heart was holding at that moment. But that moment stayed with me. It carved itself into my memory. Everybody was too supportive that day. But this was for me the first time I felt seen, understood. Like someone had found the words I didn't know how to say, but were expressing my personal feelings. And today I want to offer this story to you, just as it was offered to me by my professor, with gentleness and empathy. Whether this is your first time hearing it or your 50th time, I met you where you are, and remind you that you're not alone and your journey is worthy, even if it looks nothing like what you planned. And if this story touches you, I invite you to please share it on social media and tag me on your stories. I want to see your stories. Thank you. So, wherever you are, driving, walking, sitting quietly, or maybe hiding in the bathroom for just 5 minutes of peace, this moment is just for you. Let's make sure no one feels alone in this journey. Let's keep lifting each other up, one story at a time. Here we go. Welcome to Holland by Emily Perl Kingsley. I am often asked to describe the experience of raising a child with a disability, to try to help people who have not shared that unique experience to understand it, to imagine how it will feel. It's like this. When you are going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and make your wonderful plans. The Colosseum, the Michelangelo David, the gondolas in Venice. You might learn some handy phrases in Italian. It is all very exciting. After months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands. The flight attendant comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you said. What do you mean, Holland? I signed up for Italy. I'm supposed to be in Italy. All my life, I dream of going to Italy. But there has been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place full of pestilence, famine, and disease. It's just a different place. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks, and you must learn a whole new language, and you will meet a whole new group of people you will never have met. It is just a different place. It is a slower pace than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills and Holland has tulips. Holland even has Rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy, and they're all bragging about what a wonderful time they had there. And for the rest of your life, you will say, "Yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned." And the pain of that will never, ever, ever, ever go away. Because the loss of that dream is a very, very significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't get to Italy, you might never be free to enjoy the very special, the very lovely things about Holland. Okay. I hope this reading touched your heart as much as it touched mine the very first time. That was Welcome to Holland by Emily Perl Kingsley, a piece that continues to offer comfort, clarity, and connection to families like ours around the world. That brings us to the end of the reading, but before we go, I want to share a few words from me to you. Well, being a special needs mother is not about having all the answers. We don't know it all. It's about showing up with love with courage, and sometimes with nothing more than the strength and fear to try again the next day. It's about learning a new language of patience, celebrating victories others might never see or understand, holding a space for your child while building a world that includes them. It is exhausting. It is extraordinary. It's real. So, this week, during the Mother's Day weekend, I invite you to do one small thing for yourself. Celebrate something you've done well. I'm pretty sure you can find something, even if it's just making it through the day. Write it down, speak it out loud, or share it with someone you trust. You can also leave it in a comment here on the podcast because you're doing enough. You are more than enough. If this episode brought you comfort, encouragement, or even a tear, share it with another mom, caregiver, or friend who might need it too. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, Glow and Go. Turn on the notifications on Spotify and YouTube so you never miss an episode. Please also leave a review. It means so much and helps others discover this community. And follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram as NutriAbility. Tag me on your stories. I love seeing how and where you listen. Visit my website for more tools, resources, and support. www.nutriabilitykc.com. And thank you for being here. Happy Mother's Day.